What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Sneaker Dennis, Floss, Waukesha, whatever you want to call me. We back in the building with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get your dream car at 19, 20, 21 years old. So let's get straight into it. Before we get into the video, I want to go ahead and introduce myself and tell you guys a little bit about myself. I go by the name of Floss, or many of you may know me under the alias The Sneaker Dennis. That's the name that I used to customize shoes under. Before I started customizing shoes, I worked as an assistant in my grandmother's office. I was able to take phone calls and organize paperwork. That taught me how to manage my money, as well as helped me realize that I didn't want to work a 9-to-5. But once I turned 15, I actually started my first business. Of course, things may look easy from the inside out, but you have to learn how to manage your money, have good customer service, how to have good time management. A lot goes into having your own business. There's hard things about working a job, and there's hard things about owning your own business. So you just have to choose your heart. If you're the type of person that wants a steady income, you know for a fact you getting that check, then the job may be for you. If you're the type of person that want to go make that check happen and make it to where you can get paid every day, then having a business is for you. Either way, you got to stick it out. I customized on and off all the way through high school until I got to college. I was able to get an apartment. But for that apartment, I had to have a co-signer, which was my grandmother. So I got the apartment. And now I'm a freshman in college and I don't have a car. It was my 18th birthday that I got my driver's license, and I thought that I was going to get a car then. But I went through my whole freshman year of college without having a car. So I had been saving up my money ever since I had started customizing when I was 15. Now I'm about to be 19 and we're headed into my second year of college as a sophomore. So I went to the dealership that my grandmother suggested that I go to. And of course, I wanted a Camaro, but everyone in my family was telling me don't get a Camaro as my first car simply because I'm not going to be able to get the one I want. Like, I went and test drove a few Camaros. Number one, they rarely ever had any V8s on the lot. So I'm test driving V6s and I'm like, bruh, this not the Camaro that they had in the movies. Not what I want. So once I realized that I wasn't really going to be able to get the type of car that I wanted without getting a loan or financing it, I decided to try to go for a different type of car. So I let my grandmother pick out my car. So she picked out a Kia SUV. So the vehicle that she picked out was about $15,000, I believe. It may have been $17,000 total by the time they finished adding the tax and everything. I believe I did try to apply for financing, and that's one thing that I absolutely don't recommend. Do not apply for financing at the dealership. That's not the way to go. The dealership is not a bank. They're probably going to run your credit 3 or 4 times through different lenders just to see who's going to approve you. They're not looking to get you the best rate. They're not looking to get you the lowest payments. All they're looking to do is sell that vehicle. I would recommend that you go directly to whoever you're banking with to get you a buyer's order, and that way you'll owe the bank the money instead of owing the dealership the money, and be able to get a lower interest rate, be able to get lower payments. So I ended up needing to sell the vehicle, and I sold it to my insurance. They valued my vehicle at about $10,000. So I started looking into purchasing a Camaro. If you want to get a good vehicle, you want to make sure that the mileage on that vehicle is low, that the Kelly Blue Book matches up with how much they're trying to charge for the car and all of that. Because like I said, the dealership sells cars in order to make a profit. They're not selling you the car to help you out. I was running into a lot of dealers who had older 5th gen Camaros, and they were trying to sell it to me for the same price that it would be if it was brand new. Take into account when you're buying used vehicles is that you don't know how that previous owner treated their vehicle. You don't know if they used to let it go, you know, past 2-3 oil changes. They used to run the tires till they got bald. Now, of course, when I was car shopping, I was not a pro at this at all. So I hit up a few people that I felt like would be of service to me. I let my uncle know that I was car shopping, and he sent me various amount of vehicles, but 2 of them that he sent to me stuck with me. The first vehicle that he sent me was a blue 2019 Camaro. It may have been anywhere from like 30 to 40,000 miles. It's a 2019, and at the time it was 2023. So it was a 4-year-old car, 40,000 miles. That's not bad, but that means that the person that had that vehicle was driving that vehicle as like a daily vehicle for themselves. So they're putting about 10,000 miles on the vehicle per year, which isn't bad, especially if you compare it to me, because I gets down, I don't play.
This is the fastest cashier I know. And he gets down. Fast. He don't play.
At this point, if we're looking at a 2019 SS, then it's automatically putting me into the anywhere from $35,000 to $45,000 range as far as my budget and what I'm gonna have to get financed, because unlike the first vehicle where I paid for the vehicle in full, this time I plan on financing the vehicle. So like I said, I had the $10,000 from the insurance from selling my first car, and I just decided that I was going to put that whole $10,000 down onto the financing for my next vehicle, decrease the amount that I would have to get financed, and have lower monthly payments as well as a lower interest rate. My issue with the blue Camaro is that it did not have a sunroof. And I'm not crazy about a sunroof. I had never had one. That was the whole thing. But in my opinion, I'm like, if you're going to pay $45,000 for a car, it should have all of the features that you might want it to have. I don't want to buy the car and then wish that it had something else. So the second vehicle that my uncle sent me, it was purple. Purple is my favorite color. So my uncle sends me a purple 2019 SS Camaro. I'm sold. Straight off rip. I'm sold, bruh.
You know, everybody wants it. I told you. I take it out. I take it out the lot right now if I could. I take it out the lot right now if I could.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You want to test drive it? I get you approved right now. I get you approved right now. I called the GM. I get you approved right now.
It has a sunroof, and then come to find out, it had purple leather seats installed. The car already came modded out. When I say modded out, I mean it had side skirts, a front lip. Get into what was under the hood. I'm not sure what the previous owner did to that car, but that was not a regular SS. The dealership that had the vehicle at the time was named Houston Auto Credit. I have some family that lives in Houston. I didn't mind, you know, trying to travel out there to go get the car. But first, I sent my family member to go look at the car for me. He went and checked it out, and he said it was good. He said that the seats were even more vibrant in person, as well as that purple wrap. On the picture, it just looks purple, but in person, it has this satin diamond gloss type of look to it. So I was extremely excited to go ahead and purchase this vehicle. So I started making calls. I started trying to make something happen. So at first, I wanted to go ahead and apply for financing with my mother. Of course, they always try to make you apply with the cosigner, but if you have enough income to support yourself, which at the time I did, they will let you get an apartment on your own. So I got my first apartment at 20 years old. If you guys want me to go deeper into detail about how you can get an apartment at a young age, what type of things it is that you need to do in order to achieve this, let me know in the comments, and I will make another video for you guys. Getting that apartment, I now had rent reporting to my credit report. And what this does is it makes you look more trustworthy, and it makes you look more mature. Like, if you're 20 years old and you don't have any bills, any payments, how can the bank trust that you're going to pay them their money? Versus if you have some type of credit history showing that you make on-time payments for all of your bills and your credit cards and your lines of credit, then you'll be more trustworthy. Nevertheless, I thought that I might need a co-signer to get finance for this type of vehicle. So I asked my mother to help me go ahead and finance the vehicle. I feel like if you're going to try to go for an auto loan, try to already have a relationship with the bank. Like, if I've had an account with Chase since I was 15 years old and now I'm 20, that's a 5-year relationship that I got with Chase. So that means they trust me. They can see my income. They can see how much money is being spent, how much is being saved. Overall, this will be beneficial to, bro, sit back. That bank can already have an established line of trust with you, which means they'll be willing to finance you more or be more lenient on your interest rate and payments. At the time, I had been banking with Chime primarily, and even though I enjoy having Chime as my bank, it was a lot of, mobile benefits to it, as well as getting your deposits up to 2 days early. They not lying when they say that you can get your deposits way faster using Chime. They not lying. Them deposits do be coming through. My mistake in using Chime was that Chime was not an established bank. A bank like Chase, Capital One, or Navy Federal, or any local credit union, those are more reliable banks, as well as they can actually offer you an auto loan. This is when it comes down, bro, hush. It's more difficult to get finance because you're having to take your bank statements from Chime and send it to another bank, versus if you already had a relationship with the bank that you're applying with financing through. When it came down to applying with Alliant, I did not already have a bank history with them. I wish that I did. I had an interest rate of 7.43 APR for a 60-month term. My car note was about $631 a month, in addition to having my insurance. I'm sure you guys want to know what type of information Alliant asked me for when I was getting approved for that buyer's order. So they asked me for a photo ID, a signed social security card, and proof of address. The amount that I financed ended up being $31,650, and money that I would have paid if I completed all of those payments would be $37,906. So if you add that to the $10,000 down payment that I had already put, that meant that the vehicle would be about $47,000 total. And this is not including tax. I found out later that I had to pay my dealer for the taxes on my vehicle in order to receive the plate on my vehicle. So that was another $5,000 that I had to come out of pocket for that I didn't even know about. So if we add that, the car was actually about $15,000 down, $52,000 total. Now, once I purchased the vehicle, I had to go ahead and submit proof of insurance to the dealership as well as to the lender, which was Alliant, in order to show them that I do have the vehicle insured. So another thing that they're going to need is to have proof that they are the lien holder on your vehicle's title, which basically means even though the vehicle is yours and it's your name, they are also going to be on the title until you have that vehicle paid off, and then they're going to sign it over to you. At that point, that's when you'll get your pink slip and the vehicle actually belongs to you. So I bought that vehicle June 13th of 2023, and unfortunately I had a near fatal accident on December 31st of 2023. I was coming straight down a street through a green light, and the person on the opposite side of the street was in the turning lane, and they turned in front of me. And of course, you know, if you're coming straight and somebody turns in front of you, that's going to create a T-bone. My vehicle was totaled. I created a whole, I think 2 YouTube videos about what happened that day. I had just started taking YouTube serious, and I was going to do a Q&A for my Instagram followers. And then I got into the wreck that day, so I ended up just doing a New Year's vlog and showing everybody, you know, what happened after the wreck and us being in the hospital and things like that. If you guys want to go watch that video, I'm gonna go ahead and plug the link to it right here. I also made another video about all of the modifications that I had done to this vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and plug that as well. I also made a video about removing all of those modifications from the vehicle after the car wreck. So if you guys want to know how to remove a diffuser, how to remove a wing, and how to remove stars in the ceiling, go ahead and check this video out. So after I had the wreck and my car was totaled, during this process, I was not really car shopping. I wasn't concerned about a car at all. I had rental coverage. So for a majority of the time that I didn't have a car, I did have a rental, so it wasn't like I just was ass out or anything like that. They only covered the rental for about 2 weeks though, which I have an issue with, because it's like, if I'm paying y'all for a rental, I should be able to have the rental for all of the time that I need. But the reason why they did that is because they normally only give you a rental for the amount of time that it takes for them to give you the value of your car and offer you a settlement. So they valued my car at about $34,000 as they went ahead and paid Alliant off. They gave them their $28,000, and then there was about $6,000 left over, and I had $1,000 deductible. So that means they issued me a check for about $5,200. That's when I stumbled upon Carvana. Now, of course, I had heard of Carvana before. I had never really looked into it and, you know, did my research on it, but I ain't really care about all that. I'm trying to get a car. I'm starting to realize that even though you may sign a loan for a vehicle for 5 to 6 years, it's very rare that somebody actually completes their whole 5 to 6 year loan term. So I'm just looking at it as I had this car for the next year or two, pay the payments, upgrade, get something better. It was a 2022 Chevrolet Camaro SS Coupe 2-door. Now, this is where they got me, bro. This is where they got me. They were saying that they want $40,000 for this vehicle. And I'm looking at it like, shit, my 2019 was $41,000 before I put the $10,000 down payment, not counting the taxes. So I'm like, okay, this is basically cheaper than the vehicle that I had already. And it's 3 years newer. That was a 2019. This is a 2022. So I'm like, okay, cool. How many miles does it have? Bruh, we checked the mileage. It says 638 miles. Are you kidding me? 638 miles. They ain't do nothing but test drive it at the dealership, bro. So the first thing I did was I went to Carvana. I picked the vehicle out, and they're gonna ask you if you want to go ahead and get started. They're gonna start a 40-minute timer and put the car into your cart, and then it's going to let other people on the Carvana website know that a purchase is in progress. So now the vehicle is on hold for you to purchase it. And they're gonna ask you for all of the information that's basically on your driver's license. So first name, middle name, last name, mobile number, military status, marital status, home ownership status, like whether you own or rent. Next, they're going to offer you the option to add a trade-in. Next, they're going to ask you if you want to cash or finance your vehicle. So the first option is going to be financing with Carvana. When you finance with Carvana, they say that you can get your terms in less than 2 minutes. You can choose a down payment and monthly payments that work for you, and you can enjoy building your custom deal from the comfort of your home. This is true. I will say that if you already have a relationship with another bank, go ahead and try to finance the vehicle through a bank that you already have a relationship with, because Carvana is just like going directly through the dealership, the thing that I told y'all not to do. I know that I did it, but I specifically already had in mind that I was going to do a video about this, and I wanted my experience to be as realistic as possible so that you guys know what to do and what not to do. So the next option is pay with cash, meaning if you want to go ahead, pay the car out in full, then you're able to. The next option is self-arranged finance, meaning that you are pre-approved for financing from another lender, which is probably what I should have did. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to choose financing with Carvana. It's going to ask you to verify your information as well as your birthday, your income, and your employment. After I did this, they notified me that I was pre-qualified for the vehicle, and they said the total amount that would be due for my down payment would be $2,600. So I think that that's a relatively low down payment. Like for a $40,000 car, they're only asking for $2,600 down. I feel like depending on you and your financial situation, that's not exactly a lot. Now, where they did bust me over the head at is charging me for the shipping. They charged a non-refundable fee of $1,490 to ship my vehicle here, and they would not let me know where the vehicle was located until after I purchased it. So if I knew where the vehicle was located, I would have went directly to the dealer with my buyer's order from my bank and went ahead and bought the vehicle that way. But then of course Carvana doesn't make any money off of that, so they gatekeeping, not letting me know who got the car. You're also able to customize your terms. So the $2,600, that was just the lowest down payment. With it being the lowest down payment, is going to have the highest interest rate and the highest monthly payments. So with me putting down $2,600 on a vehicle, it was going to make my monthly payment be $776 per month. And that's including a $10 a month discount for enrolling in auto pay. The term length is about 75 months, which is a little bit over 6 years, and the interest rate is 10.33%. Is this a good deal? Hell no. Excuse my language, but if you want to get bent over backwards and folded up in the back of an SS like a lawn chair, go to Carvana, because that's what they doing, bro. 75 months, that's 6 years that they want me to pay $776 a month. Bro, 6 years from now, it's going to be 2030. I'm not going to care nothing about this car because I'm going to have me a Lamb and all type of shit. Or probably a 2024 Camaro. I would suggest go ahead and going directly to the bank and getting a buyer's order. So that way you could already be pre-approved for the vehicle that you're trying to buy. Now, even though I've already signed this contract, I do have options to refinance the vehicle after the title is transferred over into my name, which takes about 60 to 90 days. At that point, I'm probably going to go back to Alliant, which is why I went ahead and gave you guys all of the details that I gave you, because their interest rate was lower. It was around 7%, and they offered me lower terms as well. After I selected my down payment, Carvana price, which was $40,990, and then they went ahead and added the tax on the vehicle. I'm actually happy about this because, like I said, when I purchased the vehicle from Houston Auto Credit, they did not charge me for the tax. They did not inform me that I was going to have to pay the taxes on the vehicle. So I'm trying to go get my license plates, and I got a $5,000 balance due on a vehicle. $4,120.56. The title and registration was $204, and that's your registration, title handling, convenience fee, lien filing, and getting a temporary permit. So when I bought the vehicle, it did have a temporary tag on it, and it's just gonna say 60-day temporary tag. It's gonna say that you bought the vehicle from Carvana. That's pretty much it. Was going to have to pay that shipping fee of $14.90 in order to get the car shipped here. But one benefit about dealing with Carvana is there was no dealer fees and there was no hidden fees. Everything that I had to pay was told to me up front, and I was able to get it all under one financing term instead of having to pay out of pocket like I did previously. Got a notification that my order was approved. So I purchased the vehicle, and at this point I'm excited. I purchased the vehicle a Saturday morning, and they let me know that my vehicle wasn't going to be delivered until Friday, February 9th. They gave me several notifications throughout the process of shipping me the car. They let me know when the car was 25%, 75% headed to me, and then of course Friday that morning, they let me know that my appointment for 2 p.m. was going to be successful and that I could pick up the car. Employee that was working there asked me to sign a few documents. Carvana does come with its own limited warranty, and because I purchased the vehicle with 638 miles, I'm also able to get that $30,000 mile warranty as far as the manufacturer and the $60,000 mile warranty with the manufacturer. Carvana also comes with a 7-day money back guarantee. So that means, let's say I got the car and I didn't like it, I want a different car. I have 7 days to tell them, hey, take this car back, I don't want it. At that point, I'm pretty sure they'll have to just provide me with another vehicle, or I'm not really sure what happens, because I spent 7 days in New Orleans. By the time I got back home, I'm like, damn, I ain't even think about returning my car because I love it. On February 16th, they let me know that they had started the registration process for my vehicle, which is basically getting you your registration as well as your hard plates for your vehicle to prove that it's yours. Within the meantime, they always are going to give you a temporary registration. It's going to be a little piece of paper like this. And then once you get your real registration, it's going to be a piece of paper that I have my real registration as well as my hard plates on my vehicle. Now let's get into the credit. When Carvana ran my credit score through Experian, they got it back that it was a 769. I'm not really sure if that influenced the process here, but simply because I think Carvana has their interest rate set to where they can make a profit. So I don't think their interest rate really has much of a difference depending on how high your credit score is. They just want to know that you're reliable enough to make the payments. I got a notification on Thursday that my registration was completed, and I received the hard plates for that vehicle on that Saturday. So it's literally a very quick process with them. They don't take much time to get things complete. And like I said, I had a completely different experience when I was dealing with Houston Auto Credit. So I applaud Carvana for having all of their bells and whistles in line. Did I need a co-signer? I have not had a co-signer for either of the two vehicles that I've had financed. And you don't want to run your credit or run through the dealership too many times. I would rather go ahead and know that I'm gonna be approved before I try to apply with somebody. So make sure whoever you're trying to use as a co-signer actually has good credit, or that they're paid their bills on time, the things that lenders are looking for. Otherwise, you're gonna get denied. So someone asked, what is a decent credit score to buy a car? I really think that that's dependent on who you plan on financing with and what your income is like. It's people with bad credit that get approved for cars all the time. So it's really going to be on a person-to-person basis. I would just say make sure that you're keeping good on-time payments. Make sure that you actually have some credit accounts for them to look at. I would just recommend doing your research before you start applying for vehicles. That way you can keep those inquiries to a minimum and keep the point loss to a minimum. Advice that I would give to someone purchasing their first car, I would just say get what you want. And if you can't get what you want, get something that's still going to be good and beneficial to you. I wanted a Camaro when I turned 19, but that was not the right time for that vehicle. But just suggest that you play everything smart, and of course have fun. Get something that you want if you can afford it. If not, be patient and keep working and just get you a little daily car until you can afford it. So that's all for this video, you guys. I hope that this was very informational and educational to you guys. I hate that the video is so long, but I just wanted to make sure that I got out every single detail for those people that are genuinely interested, because it's a lot of things that they don't tell you about the car buying process, and I feel like that's why some people have such a bad experience when it comes to buying cars, or they don't get approved and things like that. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. See y'all in the next one.